Smell, something's burning, and it's not the wood stove.
Through the bedroom window, the soybean field was a churning wall of fire, flames licking 20 feet into the night sky, smoke blotting out the stars.
The soybeans. 2 weeks from harvest, they're burning. There's nothing left. Call 911 now. There's a fire. My soybean field is on fire. Off County Road 7. Send everything you've got.
When the first truck hit the field road, the fire had already consumed everything. 180 acres of organic soybeans reduced to blackened stems and ash.
This wasn't an accident. Someone lit that match and someone was going to pay.
She walked back to the farmhouse, not with tears, but with a cold, steady anger that had been building for years. In the house, she opened the floor safe and retrieved a thick policy document with a blue USDA letterhead. She stood at the window, the policy held tight, staring out at the smoldering field, and for the first time all night, something in her expression shifted from grief to steel. They burned her crops to force a sale. The insurance policy they forgot about ruined them all. 6 months before the fire, Nicole Hayes walked her soybean field at dawn, the way she had every season since her father passed.
Dad always said this ground had a memory. Stay loyal to it and it'll stay loyal to you.
The farm was 180 acres of certified organic soybeans, feed contracts waiting, the first real profit she'd see in years. Then a black SUV rolled down the gravel road, raising a dust cloud that didn't belong.
Miss Hayes, Gregory Vance, of Vance Agro Development. I am authorized to offer you $600,000 for this property.
It's not for sale. Not now. Not ever.
Every acre has a price. You are sitting on a confined feeding site worth triple what crops bring.
You are not hearing me. This land isn't an asset. It's a promise I made to my father.
Gregory Vance left, but his eyes swept the field like a man measuring something he already owned.
Dad always said, when they come with a checkbook, they come with bad intentions. That felt truer every visit.
Over the next 6 months, Gregory Vance returned 5 times. Each time the number on the check grew larger, and each time Nicole's answer grew shorter.
Miss Hayes, I am not a man who hears no. 800,000. This is your last chance at a fair price.
The answer is still no, Mr. Vance. My price isn't something you can write on a check.
Across the fence, her neighbor, Linda Harper, watched. Linda had seen men like Gregory before, and she knew what happened when the check stopped.
He's going to get nasty, Nicole. I've seen it. A farmer over in Bloomington. They burned his barn, sold the land for nothing. Another one near Danville. Mysterious accident with a tractor. These corporate types, they don't play fair.
What am I supposed to do, Linda? Just wait for something to happen?
Sometimes you need more than a good fence. You need a plan those suits can't see coming.
Maybe Linda's right. Refusing isn't enough. I need something that stops him permanently. But what? A piece of paper? A lawyer? Something I haven't thought of yet. Whatever it is, I better find it fast.
Nicole sat across from Martin Ellison in his book-lined office. The same office where her father had written his last will.
Nicole, it's good to see you, but I can tell this isn't a social call. What's wrong?
There's a corporate developer, Gregory Vance. He's been trying to buy the farm for months. He's getting aggressive.
I've heard of him. He's ruthless. But there's a way to protect yourself. Something not many farmers know about. It's a bit unconventional. It's a federal crop insurance policy with an arson rider. If someone deliberately burns your crop, the government has to investigate.
This is it. This is the plan I was looking for. But the premium, can I afford it? How much does a policy like that cost, Martin?
Enough to make you think twice. But not enough to let a man like Vance steal your birthright.
She signed the papers right there. The ink was barely dry when she felt something shift, from victim to strategist. Back at the farm, she locked the policy in the floor safe. Gregory didn't know it yet, but he had just walked into a trap. 2 weeks before harvest, Gregory Vance appeared at the field edge without warning. This time, he didn't even bother pulling out a check.
Miss Hayes, we're beyond offers now. This is my final number. 1.2 million. Take it, or things will get difficult.
You can keep throwing money at me, but the answer will always be the same. This land is not for sale.
Crops can burn, Miss Hayes. Weather happens, accidents happen. Nobody asks why.
He turned and walked to his SUV without another word. Nicole stood alone in the dirt, the silence worse than any threat.
He's going to do it. He's going to burn my crop.
Back at the farm, she unboxed 4 trail cameras on the porch, reading the instructions under the kitchen light until she knew them by heart.
If Gregory's men come near my field, they'll be on tape.
She mounted one inside the barn beam, 2 along the fence posts, the last one hidden in the hedgerow facing the field road. Nothing would move without being seen.
It's not just the field I am protecting. It's the one thing Dad left me that can still fight back. Proof.
At 2 a.m, Dwayne and another man moved low along the soybeans, their shadows stretching like oil across the dirt.
Pour it fast. Whole row. The wind picks up. It'll jump like a living thing.
Gasoline soaked the soybean stems, pooling at the roots. A match scraped against a boot heel, then dropped. Within seconds, the fire ran sideways, then surged upright, turning the field into a roaring, orange monster that ate everything it touched.
Not my field. Not after everything. This can't be real.
She was already running, bare feet on cold floorboards, phone pressed to her ear, the dispatcher asking questions she could barely hear. By dawn, the fire was out, but the field was nothing but ash and twisted black stems. The only thing left standing was the fence. The fire marshal knelt in the dirt and rubbed a black smear between his finger and thumb. The smell was unmistakable. On the report, a single word: arson.
I knew it. Now, I just need to see who. The cameras will tell me everything.
The trail camera memory card was still intact. Nicole slid it into her laptop, her hands steadier than she expected.
There. 2 men, middle of the night. The one on the left, I know that scar. Dwayne. He works for Vance.
She called the fire marshal, describing the footage. He told her to preserve the original file. It was enough to build a case.
Now the policy. It's time to see if Martin's advice was worth every cent.
She pulled out the thick policy with its blue USDA letterhead and carried it to the kitchen table.
I am Nicole Hayes, policy number 4721. Reporting an arson loss on my organic soybean crop. I have video evidence.
The adjuster flagged the arson rider. Claim accepted. Federal notification triggered. From that moment, the case belonged to more than just Nicole. The arson rider didn't just pay for losses. It mandated a criminal investigation by federal authorities.
Gregory wanted to force my hand. Instead, he just forced the government into his own business. You lit a match, Gregory, but I lit a fuse. 2 black SUVs. Government plates. The policy said 48 hours, and they're right on time.
Agent Rachel Chen stepped out first, her badge glinting as she surveyed the farm.
Miss Hayes, I am Agent Rachel Chen. We've reviewed your claim. This arson rider is unusual. It mandates a full federal investigation. With your evidence, Gregory Vance is now the primary focus of an active criminal probe.
Then you have my full cooperation. I have footage of his employee setting the fire, and the policy is right here.
We'll need copies of everything. If this connects to a larger conspiracy, Vance's entire operation could be compromised.
She spread the policy across the table, Rachel studying each page with a sharp, practiced eye.
Dad, I wish you could see this. The piece of paper Martin gave me just became a weapon.
By evening, the federal investigation into Gregory Vance's land acquisition practices was officially opened, and Nicole's quiet trap had sprung.
You wanted to burn me out, Gregory, but you just burned yourself.
Within 72 hours, federal agents traced the burner phone, used the night of the fire to a prepaid card chain ending at a Gregory Vance associate. Dwayne was holed up in a rundown trailer on the county line, counting the last of the payoff cash.
Dwayne, federal agents. Open the door, now.
He tried to bolt out the back, but agents were waiting. Handcuffs locked tight in the morning glare. In the interrogation room, Dwayne faced Agent Chen across a cold metal table, the camera recording every twitch.
We have the video of you pouring accelerant, Dwayne. The only choice now is who you drag down with you.
She's got the footage. Vance said he'd fix it. He's not fixing this. It was Vance. He paid me $10,000 to torch the crop, said it was just business.
Will you testify to that in front of a grand jury?
Dwayne nodded, and the confession was signed. Gregory Vance's name moved from suspect to defendant in the federal arson conspiracy case. Gregory Vance took the call in his corner office, 22 stories above the city. What he heard made the glass wall feel like a cage.
Dwayne? He's what? That fool couldn't keep his mouth shut. Tell my attorneys to handle it, now.
Within the hour, 3 lawyers sat in the conference room, spreading out the initial filings. The federal probe was already wider than the arson.
They've got his confession. I need to make him look like a liar. Nobody credible. Just a hired hand with a grudge. Leak something. Say Dwayne was fired. He held a grudge. The jury will doubt him.
But the phone records were clean, the money trail direct, and the trail camera footage unforgiving.
This wasn't an accident. That policy she bought, she knew exactly what would happen. She set a trap. A simple farmer, a piece of paper, and now the FBI is in my boardroom.
His lead attorney closed the folder. We can fight this, but juries hate arson. You might consider offering her a settlement before the indictment drops.
A settlement. I've crushed bigger opponents. But if she says no, maybe money can still fix this. Everyone has a price.
A Vance associate visited Dwayne in jail with an envelope of cash and a single instruction: recant.
More money? But Vance already hung me out to dry. Not falling for that again.
He signaled the guard and reported the bribe attempt within the hour. The FBI had another recording.
Attempted witness tampering. Add it to the file. Vance just handed us another felony.
Simultaneously, the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit uncovered irregularities in Vance Agro Development's books. Shell companies, fraudulent subsidies, concealed assets. By the end of the week, the investigation had expanded beyond arson to include mail fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering.
This is insane. How deep are they going?
His attorney replied that the grand jury was imminent, the witness was cooperating, and new obstruction charges made a plea deal nearly impossible.
They're going to burn me down. I have to offer Nicole something bigger. Maybe she hasn't said no yet.
Gregory started dialing. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he knew it was already too late. Gregory Vance's black SUV pulled into the farmyard, and for the first time, he stepped out alone. No associates. Just a check and a desperate hope.
Miss Hayes, I am here to make things right. $2 million. Drop the claim. Walk away richer than your father ever dreamed.
2 million. I could rebuild, pay off every debt. But he's the one who burned my field. You think money erases arson? You burned my crop to force a sale. That's not business, it's a crime.
Crime, settlement. What does it matter? Take the money, and the whole thing goes away. No grand jury, no headlines.
It's not about the money. It's about stopping him forever. Number, I am not dropping anything. You are going to answer for what you did.
She pushed the check back into his hand. Gregory's face went pale, not with anger, but with the cold realization that his last play had failed.
You are making a mistake. The jury might not even indict.
That was my last chance to take the easy road. Now, there's no turning back, and I am not sorry.
On the morning the grand jury convened, Nicole Hayes walked up the long courthouse steps, the policy folded in her jacket pocket like a promise. Inside the grand jury room, the federal prosecutor stood before 23 citizens, a screen flickering with the trail camera footage. He played the recording of Dwayne's confession, the phone logs, the money trail, all pointing in one direction.
The evidence establishes a clear chain. Vance hired Dwayne. Dwayne set the fire, and Vance attempted to obstruct.
Every word she speaks pulls another brick out of Vance's wall. He's not getting away.
The prosecution rested after 3 hours. The grand jury retired to deliberate, the heavy door closing behind them.
Now I wait. All those months of planning, and it comes down to this one room.
Outside, the sky had turned an uncertain gray, and Nicole sat on the courthouse steps, the policy still in her pocket.
Come on, just say the word.
The courthouse door swung open. A clerk stepped out, holding a paper. The grand jury had reached a decision. The clerk cleared his throat, and the words that followed changed everything. The grand jury returns true bills on all counts.
He's indicted. Arson, conspiracy, fraud. It's real. All the planning, the policy, it worked.
Gregory Vance and 4 associates were indicted for criminal arson, conspiracy, and wire fraud. The news broke within the hour.
Indicted? They can't do this. I haven't even get my lawyers on the phone.
Gregory Vance, you are under arrest. Put your hands behind your back.
Cameras caught him being led out of his own building in a dark suit, cuffs hidden behind his back, but his face telling the whole story.
That's the man who burned my field. Now the whole world knows what he is.
By nightfall, a federal judge had frozen all of Vance Agro Development's assets pending forfeiture proceedings.
They're seizing his land. That means it'll go to auction. I need to be ready.
The insurance adjuster called the next morning. The arson claim had been processed. The payout would be more than enough to rebuild, and maybe something more. The envelope arrived by certified mail, a check from the federal insurance program that didn't just cover the lost crop, but paid out the assessed market value of the field.
This is more than I expected. I could replant the soybeans, buy new equipment, pay off every debt. But what if I did something bigger?
The seized parcels are 300 acres of prime bottomland. Nicole, the federal auction is in 2 weeks. You are the only one who knows the land like family.
300 acres. That's more than my farm. If I could buy it, I could protect it from ever being used for a feedlot again. Martin, I am going to bid on Gregory's parcels. I want to use every cent of the insurance payout. It's a risk, using my rebuild money to buy land that might just sit empty. But if I don't, another developer could snap it up.
At the county auction office, she filled out the registration form, listing the insurance payout as proof of funds.
No turning back. This is my shot to make sure Vance's land never feeds another corporate takeover.
She drove home with the auction paddle numbers stuck in her sun visor, the insurance check already endorsed to the trust account Martin had set up.
You burned my crop, Gregory. Now I am going to buy your land and protect it forever.
On the morning of the auction, the county hall was packed. Men in suits rubbed shoulders with farmers in work boots, but Nicole Hayes walked in with a straight back and a paddle number she had memorized.
All these years of saying no, now I am about to say yes to the land that was never Vance's to own.
The first parcel came up, 120 acres of bottomland with river frontage. Bidding started at $400,000.
$450.
A voice from the back, $500. A corporate rep in a navy suit. Nicole didn't flinch.
I didn't come to lose. Not today. $550.
The gavel fell. Sold to bidder number 12. She had just taken the first piece of Vance's empire. By noon, she had won all 3 parcels. The crowd watched in silence as a young woman methodically bought back what a corporation had tried to steal.
It's done. The land is mine. Now I just have to protect it. This land is bought, Martin. Now I need a wall that no checkbook can break through.
A perpetual conservation organic cooperative. Once in the trust, no corporation can ever buy it.
I am in. And I'll bring every farmer on the road who's tired of being bought out.
In the old barn, under a bare bulb, a half-dozen farmers sat around a table and signed the cooperative charter.
From this day forward, this land grows food, not corporate profit.
The Hayes Organic Cooperative was filed at the county courthouse that afternoon. No corporate buyer could ever touch a single acre. By August, soybeans were pushing through the soil, but the deeper crop was a covenant that greed could never reap.
Dad, this is what you meant. Land is safe only when it belongs to everyone and no one. It's done. The land is protected. Now all we have to do is farm it.
And across the county, something had changed. The ground was no longer for sale, and it would stay that way forever. In federal prison, Gregory Vance sat on his bunk and wrote a letter. The envelope found its way to Nicole's kitchen table, bearing a federal prison return address.
He wrote to me. What could he possibly have to say after everything?
The letter was 3 pages long, full of self-pity and blame shifting, a final bid for sympathy.
He claims he was misled, that he didn't order the fire. He's still lying. There's no apology for the fire itself, only for getting caught.
She folded the letter and set it aside, next to the policy that had ended his empire.
No reply. That's the answer he deserves. Silence.
She stood and walked out to the fields, the letter left on the table like something already forgotten. The policy remained on the table too, a reminder of what a piece of paper could do.
The soybeans are back. After the fire, after the trial, the land remembers how to heal. This is what Dad meant. The ground keeps its promises.
Linda Harper found her at the edge of the field, the same fence where they'd once talked about fear. Neither spoke. They didn't need to. Behind them, the cooperative stretched across 300 acres, a patchwork of soybeans, clover, and riverbend.
It worked. The policy, the fight, all of it.
They walked the perimeter, boots sinking into soft earth, the summer air thick with the smell of growing things. The field that had been black ash was now a carpet of green, and no one would ever threaten it again.
This is what winning looks like. Not a check, not revenge, this.
And as the sun settled low, Nicole Hayes looked out over the land her father had loved and knew it was safe.
All the struggle, all the waiting, and it came down to this paper.
She held the policy up, watching the last light catch the blue USDA letterhead.
A simple promise signed in a law office, now a shield for the whole valley.
That promise had triggered an investigation, an arrest, the fall of an empire. Now the land it protected was forever beyond any corporation's reach.
Everything I did was for this, and I'd do it again.
At dawn the next morning, she stood on the hill, the policy still in her hand.
They burned my crop, but they couldn't burn this.
The insurance policy they forgot about ruined them all and protected a community forever. She didn't need revenge. She had something stronger, a document that outlived greed. The cooperative grew, season by season, a green patchwork across the valley. Nicole walked the soybean rows at sunrise, her boots leaving tracks in the dew. Linda often joined her, the two of them surveying what they'd built without needing to say much. Inside the old barn, the cooperative board met, voices low and sure. Farmers who'd once feared losing their land. On the farmhouse wall, a framed photo of her father hung beside the original policy.
You'd be proud, Dad. Not because I fought, but because I protected.
The fire-scarred field was long gone, replaced by native grasses and a sign that read Hayes Organic Cooperative. Every spring, new hands worked the soil, old farmers teaching the young, and the valley remained, as it always had. But now with a covenant that no corporate checkbook could break. So ended the story of Nicole Hayes, not with a shout, but with a quiet dawn and a piece of paper that changed everything. In the years that followed, the Hayes Organic Cooperative became a fixed point on the county map.
I still walk the perimeter every morning. The soil remembers everything.
She rarely spoke of the fire anymore, not because she had forgotten, but because it had already done its worst and, in the end, its best.
All of it. The policy, the investigation, the auction, was just the beginning of something permanent.
A new generation of farmers learned that real security doesn't come from a fence. It comes from a covenant. The sign at the entrance, Hayes Organic Cooperative, stood through storms and seasons, a quiet witness.
If I had said yes to Gregory's check, none of this would exist.
The policy she bought still sat in a fireproof safe, but its real copy was written into every acre. And on the quietest mornings, when the mist lay low over the soybeans, the land itself seemed to whisper the truth of what had happened. They burned her crops to force a sale. The insurance policy they forgot about ruined them all.